Welcome to the session. Hello, Soma, how are you? So nice to see you here. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Invitation. We have so much to learn from you.
We have so much to learn from our colleagues who have just joined. So yeah.
Yes.
So we are going to wait for a couple of minutes. Something important. We have interpretation, French interpretation. So yes, and thank you, Alejandra, for sharing the chat box. So if you need to use this feature, please feel free to go to the bottom of your screen. And while we are waiting for other colleagues to join, please introduce yourself in the chat box. Type your name, organization, if you have a role in the FOLUR program, and where are you joining us today? And we will start just in a few minutes. Thank you, Alejandra, for sharing the chat box. So we have a couple of more minutes, and then we will start. We have already, I see some colleagues from Davila from Côte d'Ivoire, Jocelyn from Kenya, and other colleagues. So welcome, everybody. So in 1 minute, we will start. I think Patty, Estela, I'm going to start, right? It's okay for you if or would you like to wait a little more?
Maybe 2 more
Estela?
minutes.
Okay.
Because
okay,
there are
sure.
some colleagues from some other countries who had confirmed, and from Burundi, Liberia. I don't know if there's here, but I don't see the names at least that were registered. So maybe other colleagues have joined, but Uganda as well is missing.
We have Samolin from Madagascar.
Mm.
Marion is joining now. So welcome.
Okay, good.
Yeah, Marion is joining from Uganda. Davila, Côte d'Ivoire. I think Alejandra Samolin needs some support with the interpretation. Alejandra, if you can, because Samolin is asking about the interpretation to French. Samolin, you should, well, maybe Alejandra, if you can type the chat, yeah. And let us know, Samolin, if you can find the feature at the bottom of your screen. There is like a symbol. I think Alejandra is like a kind of a world icon.
Indeed, it should be a world icon. I'm going to describe more specifically and send it on the chat box in case that helps.
Oh, I don't know if we can we have the interpreters in the main channel just for a moment or not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe she can explain now how.
Yeah, if some of the interpreters can explain in the plenary to Samolin how to find the to do. I don't know if they can do the interpretation just for a moment in the plenary. Okay, Okay, Samolin, so do you have the interpret now? Can you hear us? Can you hear the translation, Samolin? Can you hear French interpretation? I think so, huh? Okay, so it's okay. I'm going to start. So and please let us know on the chat box. Alejandra and I could support you. And so welcome everybody to this session. We are very excited to have you all here. This is our third regional gender clinic session. Merci beaucoup, Sabonin. So we already had one from Americas, one from mostly from Latin American countries, one for Asia, and we have today for Africa and some countries countries from Europe. So this session is tailored for you. My name is Sandra Andraca. I'm the gender focal point for the food systems, UNDP Food Systems, and I'm working also for the Foods and Agriculture Community, Food Agriculture Commodity Systems community, FACS community. And I'm here today with my colleague Alejandra. So we will be both of us supporting you. These gender clinics are organized together with the World Bank and UNDP under the GEF-7 World Bank-led Food Systems Land Use and Restoration Impact Program, FOLUR. Many of us are working for FOLUR and the Gender Equality Working Group. As I was saying, these clinics are designed to hello Maruf, I see that you're introducing yourself. Please let us know where are you joining us today. So those clinics are designed to mostly to listen to you, to share your experience, to have the opportunity to know each other among the countries, and we hope to compile some of your stories, some of your best practices, and with that we can then outreach what you are doing. We can promote all the work that you are doing in the countries with lessons learned briefs, with blogs. So we hope that we can hear many of your stories. I'm today also, Alejandra, if you can share I'm going to stop sharing my flyer, and if you can share the agenda, please. This is going to be we hope a very interactive session. So if you want to ask something, just put on the chat box, raise your hand. We have interpretation in for French, and we will try to support you as you need. We are recording this session for you to know. So we have this introduction. Please, as I speak, introduce yourself in the chat box. Tell us your name, your affiliation, where are you joining us today. And together we will have our experts, Patty. I think that many of you already know Patty Christensen. She's the FOLUR World Bank Senior Gender Advisor, and also Stella Nini Pavli will be with us. She's working with us in the UNDP Food System program. And we will have a discussion, and then an opportunity for you to ask your colleagues about questions, to share your own experience, and then the closure. So it's quite a straightforward agenda. Thank you, Marufa, joining us for Uzbekistan. Thank you. And Josely from Kenya. So I would hand it over to you, Patty, to start the session, and welcome everybody again.
Great. Thank you very much, Sandra. Well, this is nice to see you all, and I suspect some others might be coming in. I'm seeing a really nice diversity of countries, which is great for this session. In previous sessions, we focused a lot on sharing knowledge, sharing tools, talking about activities and indicators and things like that. What we heard back from you is that was very appreciated. And what we'd like to do now a bit more is the cross-learning from each other. What are project teams trying to do? What are they implementing? What's working? What challenges are remaining? So we decided to set up these regional sessions for you to start a conversation, talk to each other. Now we're much more aware of who are the gender focal points and people working on these issues in the different countries. And so we, as Sandra said, really want to hear from you. And this is the beginning of a conversation, and we are going to be following up with you. So what we're going to do is jump right in and talk to you about, or ask you, what are some of the project activities focusing on gender challenges, if you will, that you are implementing in your country projects. Now, Alejandra has just put in the chat a summary from a brief that we wrote recently, and you can please access that brief on our FOLUR site, because I found it interesting to look across what country teams are doing and try to say, what do they have in common? What are the areas that people have leverage, are able to do things that are tackling gender gaps, if you will. And basically, they can be lumped into 5 different areas. What I call thoughtful engagement processes, innovative communication efforts and strategies, targeted trainings, initiatives focusing on the access to finance and economic empowerment. And the last one was the monitoring, that when you are thoughtful about describing your activities and have sex disaggregated indicators on which to follow up and show the impacts of those, the outcomes, that is a very strong strategy that most of the teams are definitely pursuing. So I'm going to start turning it over to you. And I'm seeing, for example, Marion, I hope you don't mind me starting with you, but Marion in Uganda, they really did a very solid gender analysis when they started up the project. And I know it was, they almost were overambitious in, in what you wanted to do, Marion, in Uganda. And one of the things I find, you mentioned that you are really trying to link with private sector. And so I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about that aspect, because I think a lot of the projects, that's been one strategy, to try to have private sector partners, which could be small businesses, women-led enterprises, that kind of thing. So Marion, can you tell us how things are going in Uganda and some of the things that you're learning and you would like to share with your colleagues? I hope we have Marianne on good connection.
Marion, she
Oh, no, did we
joined, but
lose her?
no, I don't see, she joined, but I don't see her right now.
Oh, okay. She might have
Yeah.
have connectivity issues. That happens.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have other
I'm
colleagues. yeah, we have Davila
Carabola,
from
are
Cote
you,
d'Ivoire.
where are you joining us from? And would you like to share some of what you're doing? I see Harabola was waving at us.
You're muted. You are muted. You have to unmute, Herviola.
Is it Madagascar? N'est-ce pas?
Oui.
Yeah.
Herviola is here.
Bonjour tout le
She's
monde.
going-
Je suis
Bonjour.
Foulard Darfan. Je viens de Madagascar. Je suis le point focal genre du ministère de l'Environnement et du Développement durable de Madagascar. Et en même temps, je suis aussi le point focal genre du projet FOLUR. J'ai été récemment nommée dans ce poste de point focal genre sur le projet FOLUR. Merci beaucoup.
Bon. Okay, we will come back to Madagascar. So I want you to think about this question of sharing some of the gender-focused activities that you are implementing in Madagascar. We'd like to hear about those. So we will come back to you, let you think about that a bit. I'm seeing Dr.
Marion is back, but I'm sorry. Yes, Marion is back. Yes, but I
Okay.
don't know if you. Okay, and Dr. Titilope also. Yeah.
Yes. Well, maybe we'll go to Dr. Titilope from Nigeria, because I know you've been doing some interesting things, and I was hoping you would share some of your lessons and approaches in Liberia. I know you've had a focus on women, youth, disabled, a lot in restoration activities, conducive spaces, making sure women really are actively involved. So can we hear some of your experiences in Nigeria, please?
All right, good day, everyone. Yeah, I'm sorry I can't put on my video now because of the connectivity. I don't want it to cut me off.
No
So
worries.
pardon me to
No
just
worries.
speak to everyone. All right. Yeah, for Nigeria, for now, we have been able to put get our community facilitators on board. So they are presently working at the local level. So these are people that are mostly residing among these local communities. So it is easier for them to relate with them and share experiences with them, communicate with them in languages that they can understand. So the place of trust and confidence is what we are trying to bridge, so that at least they can trust and have a level of confidence with which to engage with us on the project. Yes, we have also been able to our women groups are in place, and they already have their executives that they chose by themselves. So we have been meeting with them regularly, and going forward, our private sector specialists are already in the process of trying to bring access to finance to them. So we have done some trainings recently. We were able to do some trainings on leadership, business management, and of course, setting up village savings and loan scheme. So that was the last set of training that we did with them. And because it's a trainer approach that we used, they have been able, the community leaders, particularly the executive leaderships, are the ones that were invited, were trained. So they have the responsibility to go back to their group and get the message across to them. So they have been doing that along with the facilitator. So that's where we are now. Going forward now, we want to determine the strength of some of these groups that we have in terms of their capability to repay loans, do businesses, and also engage in alternative livelihood. That's the next stage that we are going into. And of course, the empowerment will follow after we have been able to get some of these things. So those are the major activities we are doing now, apart from the ones that we have mentioned: collecting sex disaggregated data, and initiative for financing and empowerment. That's the major one that we are going to be launching into as soon as we get into the new year. Of course, we have started the process. So that's what I can give as the feedback for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Titilope. That's very interesting. Stella, I sense you have a question. You want to
But
ask
go
her?
ahead. No, go ahead.
Go
No,
on.
you know. No,
Uh-huh.
go ahead.
I'd like to hear more about that access to finance. And are you working with banks, any kind of, how are you ensuring that women in particular, but others also get access to finance? What is the approach there, if you don't mind me asking?
Yes, like I said, we have private sector engagement specialists that are on the project. So it is their responsibility to speak with these financial institutions, whether commercial banks or microfinance banks. And in Nigeria, we have the Agricultural Development, the Bank of Agriculture. We have some of those institutions. We also have National Agricultural Development Fund. So some of these agencies have dedicated fund for women-led businesses. So just like the
Okay.
Bank of Agriculture have women loan that is meant for women
Yeah.
with, I think, very low interest rates, less than 3%. So these are some of the initiatives that is private sector engagement have been able to help us bring and tell us about. So it is now, what we are now doing is to prepare the group so that they can have the opportunity to take this they will be better positioned to take advantage of some of these opportunities because there are criteria for them to be able to do them. And some involve their registration, which is what the project will facilitate to get them properly registered. For some of them that are not registered with government institutions, they have to be recognized. So that was why I said we are strengthening the groups for now so that they can take advantage of some of these offers that have been identified. Thank you.
Nice. Thank you very much. Now, Marianne, if your connectivity is enough, can you join us? Because I think you have some similar approaches going on in Uganda. And again, we'd like to hear what you've been doing and learning. Is your connection okay now? Obviously not. Oh, I see you. There, I now hear you.
Hear me? Okay.
Yes, please go ahead, Marianne.
Thank you. I got a network problem and I kind of lost party while you're trying to explain about Uganda. But nonetheless, in Uganda, we are working with a number of stakeholders, and we are especially emphasizing on the private sector. That is the organizations that are directly dealing with the coffee production, marketing, value addition, and all that. I think for today's case, I want to specifically talk about how we are mainstreaming gender in the coffee farm with a particular emphasis, with particular focus with an organization called Kala Mugosi Women Empowerment. It is Uganda is so highly patriarchal, and women actually don't have direct touch with the incomes from the farms. So we have gone into sensitizations and capacity building of the coffee farmers, the men and the women, and we are using the concept of a table with 4 legs. The first leg is the economic sustainability, whereby in your coffee farm you really have to put in income in order to be able to improve production and productivity. And the incomes, you use it for procurement of the inputs and all that comes in to try to improve on the coffee production. And then the other leg is the environment sustainability, where we're incorporating the tree planting, we're incorporating the good agricultural practices, where we are doing the trenches, the mulching, the agroforestry, and we're doing all that in order to try to encourage and educate them on the benefits of mixed farming and environmental sustainability. The other is the governance, where we have the structures of the coffee farmers whom we have put in groups, mixed groups, because we feel that if we isolate the women, it may be difficult to reach them, because in terms of capacity building, in terms of mobilizations for trainings, men usually get the information first. So it's a targeted strategy to involve women in the leadership positions in these groups of the coffee farmers. So that is the third leg of the coffee farm. And then the other fourth leg is the social sustainability. We cannot do without the different genders in the coffee agricultural production. Coffee being a male dominant crop, men have been so much into economics, money, and tree planting and on, but it has been so weak of making sure that in the coffee farm, the social sustainability is very important, because in Uganda, the coffee farmers have to be trained on the usefulness of the women, youth in the coffee plantation. So they provide the labor, but in the social sustainability, we are emphasizing, apart from benefiting from the labor of the women, how are you bringing in the fact that you are meeting their needs, because they have to come with their children, they have to work longer hours. How are you providing for the water, shelter, feeding, and also timely payment? Otherwise, if they don't focus and strengthen on the social sustainability, they may lose out on the others. And then we are encouraging that while you are engaged in your coffee farm, when it comes to training, you have to bring in more the women, the youth, and then these casual laborers, most of whom are women, into the trainings, so that they get to know on the benefits of why you are putting in the manure, how you are putting in the manure. If left out the women and from the training and only made them to grow beans and those other things, well, they can grow their beans in your coffee. But if they don't understand that you have just applied manure, they can easily grow beans and end up weeding out your manure as they try to weed their beans. So it is really a complex 4 legs table coffee production that the men eventually opened their mouths and said, we have not been so keen that we need to make women part and parcel of the whole value chain of the coffee production, especially the agricultural bit, whereby when you apply the manure, they should know where have you put the manure, organic manure. Some number of times you have to dig it in. So if the women do not know, they can easily come and plant the beans and weed out the manure. And then when it comes to resource sharing, the economic bit after the production, the men have felt more guilty that they have always kept away all the finances from the women. So in order to meet the basic needs of the households for the women and the youth, if you are not part of the incomes from the man, they have tried to keep away some coffee. Because if you give it all in, you'll get nothing at the end of it all. So we have openly shared this with the men that ideally you are trying to make women vulnerable and they can easily be called to be stealing your coffee. But in a household, you need to emphasize good relationship, gender relations, where you discuss all these things. At the end of the time, even women need some money out of that coffee. So that while they pick the coffee, do the processing of the coffee, they should also benefit from the money.
Yes.
But if you share the money, the
So Marian,
women and
thank you. I love this table with 4 legs and how it's not just about sort of income, but also about some of the environment, the governance, the social, and you're talking about interventions tackling each of these 4 legs. I think that's a very powerful way of communicating it. So let's continue to talk about that and help you share that story more widely. And I'm curious how it's resonating with some of your colleagues here. I see that from Côte d'Ivoire. We've in the text, we've got some suggestions about good practices from Côte d'Ivoire. Davila, is that the right name? And would you like to tell us a little bit more about what you're doing with these working groups? And another focus on agroforestry and seedlings again. That is a common thread across many FOLUR projects. Are you able to speak up?
She had some networks problems, Patty, so I'm not sure.
People are joining us from the field. It's so heroic, but it's difficult, isn't it? Oh, okay. The other person I'd like to hear from, I hate to put people on the spot, but I'd like you to start putting your questions in the text and talking to each other also. Maruf, you are here from Uzbekistan. I don't know enough about what's happening in Uzbekistan. Can you tell us a little bit about how you're tackling gender challenges and opportunities in Uzbekistan?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hello, everybody. I'm very happy to see you in this gender clinic practicum. It's very good sessions, I think, for exchange the information. So let me introduce myself. I am from Uzbekistan, FOLUR Uzbekistan team. I am the team leader for third component. I work in the National Committee of Ecology. So our project is the team leaders and one of the team leaders, his name is Shehzad. He works with the Minister of Agriculture, and the national coordinator of our project, FOLUR Uzbekistan project, is Aziz Nurbekov. He is with FAO. He works for FAO. So it's the FOLUR project divided into 3 entities. And also we have LOA with IUCN and ICARDA. So we have like partners like this. So regarding the gender, what we did is that recently, 2 days ago, we started first consultancy workshop within the Ministry of Ecology. Just like yesterday, Ministry of Ecology of Uzbekistan changed the format and became a national committee for ecology and climate change under the present administration. So now we are not the Minister of Ecology, we are the Committee of Ecology under the president. So what we did is that we did a workshop to adopt the gender strategy, because the Senate of Uzbekistan said that there is a law like saying that we have to do a gender strategy, but each ministry and government entity should adopt according to the real needs of gender issues. For example, in different ministries, different, let's say, Minister of Health, 80% women are working for the Minister of Health. Same with the Minister of Education, public education. In the schools, like maybe 99% women are working there. But in the other ministries like ecology, it's vice versa, like maybe 20% women working, because the inspectors of ecology that fights against the violence against the wild animals or other inspectors of ecologies, most of them are men. So regarding the gender balance is different in each ministry. That's why government said to us to adopt gender strategy, what we are going to do within the FOLUR project. So we have Malika. She works with as a gender specialist in FAO, and we have Kamala. She is working with the National Committee of Uzbekistan on Ecology. Regarding this, we are working, we have a special group that's going to develop the gender strategy and adopt within the Ministry of Ecology. So second thing, what we are going to do is we are going to make a series of sessions and trainings for central apparat of the National Committee of Ecology to say to the 9,000 who works for the ministry, 9,000 people. Out of them, like 2,000 are women and 7,000 approximately men. We are going to introduce what is gender is and what we can do within the ministry to make a good opportunities for both men and women to develop their career and to other gender issues. So we are going to make a first, secondly, the sessions for the introducing the gender issues, and we are, Uzbekistan is now in Central Asia doing a lot of reforms, and under these reforms, the government of Uzbekistan, the Senate and Parliament of Uzbekistan is giving big attention to the gender issues. You know that in Samarkand, like recently, there was a UNESCO 43rd session of UNESCO in Samarkand city, and we are going to have after like a week, we are going to have a COP sites in Samarkand in Uzbekistan. So many people are already arrived to Uzbekistan. So our president and our authorities now saying really they said that we have gender problems and we have to do something about this. And before, like 30 years ago, we were hiding that we have problems with gender or HIV/AIDS. So it was a closed information. But now our president, our government authorities now widely in the mass media saying that we have gender problems and we have to do something with this. And there is a lot of presidential degrees about this to balance, to develop the gender issues in Uzbekistan. So with our within the FOLUR project, we already did a lot of work. Mr. Professor Aziz Nurbekov, I think he is on or not, but let me tell what we have the best stories about the FOLUR project in Uzbekistan. We are so for our project there is a 3 regions project sites are are given. It's Kashkadara region. There is a Gisar State Reserve, and around the Gisar State Reserve there is a villages like Gilon, and Gilon has 6,000 years of story, and 70% of male, they are labor migrants. They go to Europe, they go to Russia to earn money. So their wives and mothers and sisters, they stay home, and they are and automatically they are women-led households. So what we did is that we are going to work with this ladies, let's say women, women. What we did in May, we did series of questionnaires, what they want to do and how they want to overcome their income. So we to hide their income, and we also and the within the other components of FOLUR project, already was purchased greenhouses for women-led households. So this women already who stayed in their villages, let's say, and their husbands are working, let's say, in Russia or Europe, so as a labor migrants, and they have to do something with their households. So FOLUR project purchased for them the greenhouses and the motocultivators, motoblocks, and the other equipment, so dairy equipment, so they can do business and earn money and do some like nurseries with seedlings, and we have a good stories. Soon, if you ask FAO Uzbekistan regarding this, we can send you what we did, what we achieved in helping women-led households, how they can earn money more and not harm the state reserves, because their houses like in
Yes.
buffer zone with the national reserves.
Exactly.
In national
yes.
Gisar, if you know Gisar State Reserve in Kashkadar region, we have their snow leopard. We have 70 red list animals in there, and
Oh,
they
lovely.
just live in there. I mean, the
Yeah.
village Gilon, 6,000 years there, and
Yes. Oh,
and we have like leopards, we have other wolves, and we have more than 17 types of red list animals there. So what we do is that we are working on our project activities, and soon we are going big paying attention to the women who work with the Ministry of Ecology, also the National Committee of
nice.
Ecology, because my
Nice.
language is like it was a Ministry of Ecology yesterday. Now today it's the National Committee, so it's changed.
Yes.
Let's say
Yes. Exactly.
Ecology Committee. So we are going to help women to household women to improve their skills,
That's wonderful.
do trainings, and
Yes.
buy the equipment. Also, we are doing sessions, as I said, to women and men, what gender is, because we are Eastern country. We have own historical rules, and we
Yes,
have to
exactly.
explain what is the gender equality,
No,
what is
I
the
hear
gender.
you. I hear you. Maruf, thank you
yeah.
so much for sharing. I'm just really conscious of our time. Apologies. I really like the focus on policies and training within the ministries or committee now. And the greenhouse story, I think is very, very interesting. And we want to learn more about that from you and talk more about that in the future. We've got a few hands up. Soma, do you want to come in?
Just
You got a
very
question? Yeah.
Sure. No, just very briefly, because this is, so I'm Shoma, and I'm the equivalent of Patty in another, in a sister, in the FOLUR sister program, which is called the Food Systems Integrated Program. So we're looking to learn lessons from you. So I would be really interested, I popped it into the chat, but I would be very interested to hear from you, from the gender focal points and the specialists here, any examples of how you think, empowering women or, building their capacities has somehow led to what we all know that the Global Environment Facility, they call the GBs, the Global Environmental Benefits. So if you like, the environmental case, investment case. So, for example, what I'm hearing is, I think it was in Uganda, it was really interesting to hear how it's really important to invest also in women and engage them, because failure to do so might mean that they're going to be, weeding out all the fertilizer or whatever. So, that's a clear, if you like, example of how engaging with and empowering women delivers environmental benefits, which we hope will encourage further investment in women. So I'm really interested to hear any other examples. And just to say in advance, Patty, I will need to leave in 5 minutes for a meeting, but I hope that this really interesting exchange will be somehow captured and shared. It's a lot. I've learned a lot. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us and for that very good question. And we will be following up. We've done this in 3 regions, so we'll be pulling it together, the lessons and what we're hearing, and I will share that with you. Great. Who has not spoken up that might have some thoughts on this, the link between what you're doing with women's empowerment, for example, and environmental benefits? It's such a good question. I see Jocelyn, you're here from Kenya. Would you like to tell us anything exciting going on with you and what kind of activities you're doing? And I still would like to go back to the Madagascar group after that, and if they've got anything to share with us, please. So Jocelyn first.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Jocelyn from Kenya. I think I'm just 3 weeks old in the project.
Okay.
Yeah, we are just starting with the gender issues today. We have, this week we have been having the team from LOM. We have the first most stakeholders meeting, whereby now it's my first meeting in the project, whereby I'm trying to look on how we are going to integrate the gender issues in all the activities we are going to carry out in the project. I've been working with the community, so it's not a new thing. It's just a matter to look on the activities in the project and try to bring the issues of women, everyone to be included in the activities which are going to be carried by the project. We are in Kenya, we have the issues of likely the gender. The women are not actively involved in everything we do. That's now the new issue whereby we need to work to try to sensitize, carry out awareness, to let women know that they can do what men do. So the activities is by the law that the 30% in every activities, they need to be carried out by women. And we are trying now to implement the law by creating awareness. We are going to involve more women in the activities. Whatever the project is doing, we are going to make sure that there is gender, women, youth, and also the people with disabilities. We try to work on every activity whereby we are going to build the capacity of everyone. So I think in future, we are going to share more when we start the project, because right now we are in our first meeting. We are yet to hit the ground to start with the awareness. I'm going to share more in the next sitting, whereby now I will have familiarized myself with the project activities. Thanks.
That's wonderful, Jocelyn, and please reach out to us. And if you're having trouble finding any of the resources that we share on our community of practice, just reach out to us, okay? And we can help you access those, because I feel like at the beginning of the project, it's really important that you get this support on ideas about activities, indicators, these kinds of things. Stella, I see your hand up.
Yeah,
Would you like
no,
to-
just following up on what Jocelyn was saying and what your comment that since this is a project that had just started, I was a bit curious to ask how are you using the document, the project document of FOLUR that has been developed with a gender mainstreaming approach? Because that should be sort of your guiding framework to start the project. And in our understanding, most of the country projects had the gender analysis and the gender action plan. So are you using that, or you're planning to revise and to do additional gender analysis, which might take longer and may kind of make the implementation even start later? So have you talked about
Okay. I can respond on that. I think I've looked on the document. We need to come up with the agenda strategy. I've been talking with the project manager. That is the first thing we want to develop, the agenda strategy for the project. I think that since the project started, there is nothing which has been going on the gender issues, but now we need to develop the agenda strategy so that we can capture all the activities which are involved, so that we can not leave anything out. So I think it's the first thing we are trying to start writing, to coming up with a gender strategy for the project.
Okay, but just as a suggestion that maybe you should also use, if there is sufficient information in the actual project document and framework, because there has been some effort to address the main gender gaps in each country, and I assume in your country as well, so that you already use what has been done already, so you do not repeat things. Just a suggestion, if there is anything there that you can use. And as Patty mentioned, we have a lot of other resources that could help you with the gender strategy, and it doesn't have to be something very big. And with a lot, you can do a gender analysis, even a rapid gender analysis, to ensure, considering that there has been some time, there has been some delay, to ensure that things go faster and you do not get held back by the processes of a gender analysis. Just a suggestion, but without knowing very well the context, I'm making this suggestion.
Okay, I really appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to, I think, it's a learning process. I said that I just came in just the other day. It's a learning process. That's why I wanted to get some experience and share with you, so that next time I will have something to, I know I'm not new in the project areas. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the beginning of a conversation, Jocelyn. So thank you for joining in. Davila in Cote d'Ivoire, do you have connectivity enough to speak up a bit now and tell us a little bit about what's happening in Cote d'Ivoire? Maybe it's not strong enough. And what about our Madagascar colleagues? Do any of you want to say a few words? We've got some shy people, and I'm sorry I'm not speaking French. Désolé. Oh.
I think some of our colleagues, yeah, as you were mentioning, Stella, that they are in the field with not very.
Est-ce que vous m'entendez maintenant?
Oh, Sariaka,
Oui,
we
vous
can hear you.
m'entendez?
Yes.
Oui, oui.
yes.
Là, on est deux, là, point focal genre de Madagascar. Moi, je suis du ministère de l'Environnement et ma collègue, c'est Sarik venant du ministère de l'Agriculture. On veut partager un peu notre expérience et avancer en termes de genre. Euh, à propos du cadre, on a déjà fait une analyse situationnelle du genre à Madagascar avec le ministère en charge du genre, le ministère de la Population, et on a quelques résultats sur la situation, sur les écarts de genre, surtout. Et maintenant, après l'analyse situationnelle, on est en cours d'élaboration d'une politique d'égalité homme-femme pour bien cadrer un peu le genre à Madagascar. On a une opportunité sur la présence de cette analyse, résultat d'analyse et l'élaboration de la politique. Il y a aussi les conventions, les 3 conventions internationales de Rio, la CDP, la CNUC et l'UNCCD. Il y a déjà des plans d'action genre avec ces conventions. Nous, particulièrement, on a participé sur la mise à jour des plans d'action ou sur la consultation sur le genre avec les conventions. Sur l'expérience, euh, on a aussi des projets mis en œuvre par le ministère sur la protection des ressources naturelles. On voit que la présence d'une stratégie sur un projet stratégie genre, ça aide beaucoup hein, pour guider un peu les actions à favoriser, surtout les actions pour comment on dit ça, pour booster un peu les initiatives féminines qui ont déjà implanté sur des lieux. Les initiatives locales et la mise en valeur des activités des femmes locaux, c'est très important. Et le renforcement de capacité de ces femmes aussi, c'est une initiative et expérience très, très efficace. À Madagascar, l'Association des femmes est très, très dynamique et très réussie aussi hein, pour l'épanouissement des femmes, surtout sur l'autonomisation socio-économique avec les projets de protection des ressources naturelles. On a une réussite sur l'activité des associations des femmes pour source de revenus comme pour l'activité écologique, vu que Madagascar est encore un pays à énergie de bois et ces initiatives de charbon écologique faites par des associations de femmes, c'est très réussi. Et pour FOLUR, comme étant le point vocal genre du ministère, je vais je vais aider le projet FOLUR à, à mettre en place la stratégie genre pour bénir l'activité de restauration ou sur le système agroalimentaire. Il faut aussi combiner les pratiques traditionnelles avec les pratiques améliorées sur l'agriculture durable. Je crois que c'est un peu ça, la réussite sur l'approche genre dans un projet. Et je vais donner la parole à ma collègue, Madame Sarik, pour partager un peu aussi les expériences ou les avancées au niveau du système agroalimentaire. Merci beaucoup.
Oui, merci Séverine de m'avoir donné la parole. Bonjour tout le monde. Je suis Sarik Raounfel ou confocal genre suppléante auprès du projet FOLUR Donc, je suis aussi le point focal genre du ministère de l'Agriculture et de l'Élevage. Comme ce que je vais partager, donc c'est dans qu'est-ce qu'on a fait en matière de genre dans le secteur agriculture et élevage. Peut-être quelques exemples. Nous, on n'a pas de budget spécifique genre, mais ce qu'on fait au niveau du ministère, c'est à travers toujours à travers les projets programmes. Donc, ce qu'on a fait jusqu'ici, c'est des renforcements de capacité des femmes entrepreneuriales. Donc, appui pour la promotion de l'entrepreneuriat féminin. Pourquoi? Parce que nous, on a vu l'expérience que en matière d'entrepreneuriat agricole, les femmes sont plus sérieuses, plus sérieuses que les hommes, donc plus de réussite. C'est pour ça on a fait ces appuis. Et puis aussi, on a fait aussi des renforcements de capacité par rapport au groupement villageois, le GFEC,
Groupement villageois de crédit.
Oui, de crédit et d'épargne, groupement d'épargne et de crédit villageois. Donc, on appuie ces initiatives, on fait la promotion de ces initiatives pour aider donc les femmes dans le financement de la culture. Et aussi, on a fait aussi des renforcements de capacité par rapport à l'accès des femmes au foncier. Ça, on a fait avec le programme CACEF. Donc, c'est ce qu'on peut partager pour Madagascar. Merci de nous avoir donné la parole.
Patty, we are
Great.
running out of time.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Again, we would like to follow up and hear more details specifically about FOLUR activities. You talk about support and you talk about capacity strengthening. We would really like to dive down deeper with you and specifically how is that happening on the ground. So we will, I think, try to follow up with you on that. Yes, and I'm sorry we've run out of time. Sandra, I'll turn it back over to you.
No, thank you. Thank you very much for sharing, for the enthusiasm. It's amazing. We always say that, yeah, we need more time, but was like this session to get to know each other. So thanks again. Please, complete the survey that the link will pop up when you close the session. It's very important to have your inputs, your insights. If you want to follow up this conversation, if you want to share your stories, if you haven't yet joined the gender equality group, and we will be sharing the recording. Thank you very much to our interpreter, Fernanda, to our colleagues, Alejandra, and Stella and Patty, all of you. And please, keep in touch, and you have our emails, and do not hesitate to contact us. I wanted to take a group picture, but I think that many of our colleagues have already gone. But if you want to open your camera and say goodbye, it would be great.
Okay.
And thank you for staying. Thank you, Dr. Titi Lopez, for staying.
Thank you for coming, everyone. And thank you, Sandra, Stella, Alejandra, the interpreters. Thank you very much. Well done.
Thank you.
And I know that Davila is joining. Just I know that she had some problems. So thanks a lot for sharing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Maru, for joining from Uzbekistan. It was great to see you here today.
Thank you very much.
And thank you, Marion.